spending a Friday. Some of y'all are supposed to be in basketball practice right now. Some of y'all are supposed to be in the kitchen. Some of y'all are in the kitchen right now. But listen, turn this on. Turn this up right now. All we need is a red carpet, a red, black, and green carpet, to be honest.
Word.
Spending a Friday.
All right, we live, baby.
Okay.
The show is yours, Tekk.
Hey. So everybody, welcome. Again, shout out to everybody who made it through to the Notary War Room. This is a special edition. This is the Blakanda Forever edition. Everybody, give me the Wakanda salute. There we go. There we go. There we go. Don't make me start, man.
Hey, well, today's the day it comes out, man.
That's right. Don't break every record in the world, right? Every single record it might break at the box office. If not today, then eventually it will. But listen, we're not just here for that. Today is actually a real special day, and I want you guys to just get comfortable. I want you guys to sit back in your chairs, pull up, make yourself at home, kick up your feet, put the screen into full vision. I want you guys to be distracted at all. We're gonna make this worthwhile your time. But really, I got my camouflage on because it's the war room. And we're gonna get into a lot with our esteemed guest, Tiger Toledo. But before we get into that, I think the man that you guys see to my left on the screen or to your right on the video monitor really needs no introductions. It really goes without saying. But just in case you haven't heard of who this is, just in case you've been under a rock for the last decade, or you've been, your internet got cut off for the last 2 years, just in case you haven't been around, Tiger Toledo is the esteemed guest that's on the Notary War Room today. Tiger Toledo is a husband, he's a father, he's a business owner, he's an author, he's a course creator, he's a visionary, he's one of the many leaders in our community. He's done a lot for the notary and the entrepreneur community. He's been featured in several different podcasts. He's been a guest. He's been a mentor to a lot of people who you might know and you may not know. And he's definitely been one of the North Stars in many ways to how this profession is going and the direction that's being taken into. So without further ado, our esteemed guest is the one and only. It is, ladies and gentlemen, Tiger Toledo. Welcome to the
humble. Appreciate it, man.
Welcome to the Notary War Room, man. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, I always wanted to be on this show and shit, man.
Hey, like they say, dreams do come true, partner. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff I want to get into, and there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna cover. So hopefully you guys are comfortable in your favorite chair right now, and you guys will gonna get what you came for. So, Tiger Toledo, before we kind of dip into what it is that you do as a specialist in your area of specialty and your area that you shine the brightest, and there are many of them. For the people who have been on an island somewhere, just desolate, can't find their way, can you please tell us, who is Tiger Toledo? Who are you?
I'm a humble dude, man. I'm a humble street dude that is in the business world. I always wanted to be in the business world. The street game did not had a very, very short lifespan for me. You know what I mean? So for those that, that understand the street life, there's not too many avenues that you can go with that, and I learned quick because the people around me were drug dealers. They were drug dealers. They were stick-up kids. They engaged in a lot of criminal activity, but the reason why I didn't engage in that stuff is because none of them were successful. Every single year they would rotate in and out of prison. And I was like, well, I can't use none of these cats as role models. But I learned a lot from them. I learned a lot from their personality. Like, you don't have to be a crackhead to know how crackheads move. You know what I mean? My brother was a crackhead. I seen how he moved. I know that wasn't the life for me. Hustlers, drug dealers, people like that, I saw how they move, and I pretty much cherry picked what I liked from them. The charismatic, the charisma that they had, right? The courage, the confidence that they had, like being able to approach women where other cats were really shy. That type of stuff I cherry picked from them. And then the stuff that didn't work, I just let it go. You know what I mean? So I'm just a 80s baby, like born in the 70s, but really sunk my teeth in the 80s, 90s. And I'm a street dude in the business world. I'm the dude that, like, yo, you bring me into a boardroom with you. You want me in the boardroom with you because they ain't gonna disrespect you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they either gonna respect you or we gonna kick their teeth in. So that is the dude that I am. And I have no problem doing that. That's why I got to work out so I could bump the shit out these niggas.
So I'm feeling that. So before you mentioned something about being a street dude in the boardroom. So let me ask you this. And before we get into, you know, the nitty gritty, so a lot of the people who may be watching this may be relatively new to what we call entrepreneurship. They might be their first time stepping off from what they would call a street environment, or maybe it is literally the streets, or maybe it's just the environment in which, you know, they try and escape, and they find themselves in this community, amongst this community. So after all the time, all the years, and all the you know, experiences that you've gone through, does it still fire you up just to, when you talk about the business, being the street, comparing from the street into the business, do you still get that burning fire inside you whenever a deal comes by? Does that ever wear off, or do you still have it just like it was your very first time?
As my man Andre Hatchett said, I love the game. I love the game, man. It's too much fun, man. And knowing that I ain't gonna get shot or physical harm, or I'm not gonna get locked up. The worst that can happen, even if I fuck up thousands of dollars, the credit cards and the banks are gonna send me a letter. That's like the worst that's gonna happen. Hey, you owe us money over here. Can you pay your debt? I'll get back to you. You know what I mean? Like, that's the worst that can happen. In the streets, niggas is coming to your door. So this is fun, man. This is a lot of fun. One of the things that I'm super excited about is seeing more of us that embrace the lifestyle that they grew up in, and they bring that element into the business world. One of the guys that I really admire is that Wall Street Trapper guy.
Okay.
Right? This dude did 10 years in prison, you know what I mean? And he learned about stocks while he was in there. Now, I mean, like, he teaches stocks, but he has merchandise where he's selling baking soda. You know what I mean? Like Wall Street Trapper baking soda. Like, he fused his drug upbringing with stocks now. So he's doing everything legally, but he didn't forget where he came from. And I think that is like some of the dopest shit ever when you could do that.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. There's a certain level of genius that goes into writing a master's dissertation or a master's thesis, a doctorate, a study. There's a certain level of mastery that goes into being 5'9" and jumping up in the air and catching the ball mid-air, spinning 360, dunking it. There's a certain level of of incredibly high level intelligence that goes into being able to perform intellectually, athletically, to going to edit videos, going to hosting programs, going to designing, and that can be rolled up all into one. And the way that you approach business, how do you take different elements of all of your upbringings, all the experiences, anything that you can cherry pick that really stood out, that from whether it's when you were a young kid, from whether you were a young adult, all these different areas of expertise. You're great at this, and then you switch up. You go great at this, and then you try a different sport, and then you master this, and then that is rolled up into one ball, and then this is what we get. Is there something that you can point to? You know what I mean? This is in each of us.
Yeah.
It's in each of us. It really is. Wall Street Trapper, for example, somebody who takes a completely different life that you would not ascribe to this type of profession, and then a slice of that, you take that, and then now you can do the exact same thing. Is there something that you could point to, something that stood out in your past that triggered?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm great. I can do this, and I can do it in multiple different professions or multiple different disciplines, and I can be a master at it.
Right. Well, when Tanisha came on earlier, and she was like, yo, I go out there and I get it. You know what I mean? And how she brings this energy. And if they're smart, they'll say, you know what? She can be our competition, or we can team up with her and be a partner with her and collaborate with her, right? Because she's not gonna stop. So Gina knows, because she's from the Bronx. The era that we grew up in New York was, look, man, you ain't gotta look for trouble. Trouble's gonna find you. Like, that was the atmosphere, that was the energy of New York. Trouble's going to find you, so you better be prepared for it. So it caused, absolutely, it forced you to have a level of aggressiveness that it was like, sometimes you wind up flipping the script and you look for the trouble instead. You know what I mean? Instead of the trouble coming to you, be like, you know what? I'm starting shit now. And for me, in the early ages, I used to be a bully, right? And then I realized I didn't like being a bully. So I wind up becoming the guy that would bully bullies, right? I didn't like that. They would, picking on people weaker than them. It's easy to pick on somebody that's weaker than you because they're weaker than you, right? So, but when you say, yo, leave Shorty alone and shit, like, fuck with me instead. Pick with me, pick on me.
Yeah.
That's a whole different element. So one, though the bullies will try to touch you, be like, all right, I'm gonna pick on you. Well, your ass better know how to fight. Or you better have Gina, you remember those things that used to go clack, clack, clack? You better have one of them box cutter razors in your pocket somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So
real quick. Or a razor in the mouth, one of them.
Yeah, indeed. So that element of aggressiveness has always stuck with me, and then it's helped me out to this day to approach things that I may be fearful of, scared of, and be like, man, I'll tell myself, man, nigga, stop acting like a little bitch. Not bitch as far as like gender, like male or female, but bitch meaning weak. You know what I mean? Like, stop acting weak, stop acting soft. And that would help me out a lot when it comes to overcoming my fears. The second thing was I approached every business as a drug dealer, but not a corner street drug pusher. I'm the nigga that got workers, right? So I'll give you an example. When I would do Google profile or Google my business, I would have one worker, and that one worker, that one Google profile would work very well, right? I'm like, damn, this nigga worked real good on this corner. You know what I mean? Like, so now I'm like, well, I need like 10 of these niggas. So I'll create 10 more Google profile. And I was like, wow, 10 is doing really good. I need 70 of them. I need blocks now. I need projects. I need the whole corner. I need DC. I need New Jersey. I need California. And so I would approach it like that. So I approach it when something works, you double up on it. You don't fall back because it's working. You double up on it. So
what kind of
anything you could think of. That's how I approach it.
I mean, I like that because keeping with that concept, what type of stuff have you tried? What type of businesses have you actually tried?
I had 7 businesses before the notary business. 7
businesses, yeah.
7, and they all failed. The notary one was the only one that popped. That shit popped something sick. I would have never imagined the notary business would be my ticket out of this shit. Right? I had a shrimp importing business. I was bringing in shrimp and lobster from Honduras. Remember, I was on some drug dealer cartel type shit. Like I'm bringing in shit from, you know what I mean? But it was legal. It was shrimp, you know. It was shrimp. It was shrimp and lobster.
Yeah.
Tilapia and shit. You know what I mean? Like I was, but they counted just like Coke. Then I had a record label. Again, I was distributing CDs. I was looking for ways to distribute music. It's always been the same type of concept. What else? I had a lot of businesses, bro. But this notary business, man, I'm telling you, like the first month, it just went, all right, we've been waiting for him. Let's give it to him. And I put everything that I learned from those 7 trial run businesses. I'm not going to say failed businesses. I'm going to say 7 trial runs. And I poured everything into this. And it just went. It just went. And I just try to share it with everybody. So I'm like, yo, this worked. Because I'm the type that I'll roll it out myself. If it works for me, I'll know it will work for you.
Hey, tell us like this, because we're gonna get into it, because that's why people came here. People right now, some people are lost. All right. Looking, searching high and low. They're looking and they need answers, they need solutions. And they're getting a lot of information, they're getting pulled in a lot of different directions. What's something about the notary business that people don't understand?
It's all sales and marketing. That's it.
Sales
and marketing. That's it, dude. That's all this business is about. Your stamp ain't worth a goddamn thing, yo. Your stamp is worth this bottle of water. You it's just rubber, plastic, and ink. That's it, yo. Your commission, nothing. It's you. You are the magic sauce.
Yeah. Break that concept down. What, you're the magic sauce. Your stamp, the stamp is nothing. It's nothing.
Because your stamp doesn't answer the phone for you. Your stamp doesn't do any marketing, no posting, no content, no social media marketing. It doesn't do anything. Matter of fact, the only time you use your stamp is probably out for like maybe 5-10 minutes and it's right back in your bag. It makes a guest appearance. Here I am, ta-da, da-da-da, and then it goes right back in your bag. All of that work, you driving, gas, and P&L statements, and obtaining fundings and business credit and virtual offices and LLCs and all that shit. That fucking stamp ain't got nothing to do with that. Your commission from your state, they didn't all of a sudden, all right, you now have a commission. You are now an entrepreneur. No, it's like you already been an entrepreneur. Now you're learning how to leverage that stamp. That's it. The stamp could have been, your stamp could look like a donkey with rubber and ink and shit. And when you stamp it, it goes, hee-haw. You know, like it literally could do that shit. All of the work that you did was you. So you have to take control back to like, I make this shit pop, not this stamp. Because how many times, Tekk, somebody has paid you and they never seen your stamp? They didn't see your commission. Then that's what your commission number is, when the expiration date is. They didn't ask none of that stuff, but you already got their money and you're sitting in your bank account.
When I took the class to become commissioned in California, which is kind of known to have the hardest class, who knows, but I'm sitting in there and they're telling you, this is going to get you sued. This is going to get you fined. This will get you locked up in a real cage behind bars in a jail. This is going to send you to the big house. Pass the test, you walk out, and they wave, bye. Bye, good luck. Nothing about money. Nothing about talking to people. Nothing about processing refunds. Nothing about walking in someone's door and shaking the hand with the dog. They didn't tell you none of that stuff, right? They just said, don't get sued. Bye. Good luck. So when people leave the classroom, they leave or some people don't even take a class. They don't even take they just sign up, right? Which is really beautiful to me.
Yeah, I didn't take a class.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. So after that, the day after you get the commission, day after you take the exam, you're passed. What's the first thing you did?
The first thing I did?
Yeah.
I started reading the Notary handbook in Illinois. And I said, this is bullshit. I was like, fuck this shit.
No, you didn't.
I was like, I'm not reading this shit.
I can't even find it.
Bro, because
why is that? Why'd you
all it did was instill fear into me. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. I was like, then why the hell would I like, if I'm going to become an entrepreneur, why would I even pick a career like this? You're telling me I can only charge $1. Who the hell? Like I could get a job at Walmart and make more than that shit. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I was like, look, at this point, I'm going to go all in and I'll figure this shit out as I go along. That employee handbook didn't tell me how to get clients. It didn't tell me how to answer the phone. It didn't tell me how to, listen for upsells and cross sells and down sells. It did not put me onto no kind of game, but just, and that's what the government does, right? So that's what they're gonna do, is they're just gonna put, hey, this is legislative law, this is what you do, this is, I was like, all right, I'm not interested in that. So I started marketing the notary business. I didn't even have my commission yet for about 4 months, and I was already getting phone calls. And it was weird because I was giving away a lot of money. Every time somebody would call, I would tell them, notary's not in right now. Notary is on the field. Sorry, everybody's busy. And I got tired of giving away money to everybody else. So I started looking for other notaries and I started dispatching the assignments.
Wait, I want everybody to listen to what you just said. I want everybody to catch that. So you got commission. First thing you do out the gate is you're getting.
No, I didn't get commission yet. No.
Oh, you wasn't commissioned. You wasn't commissioned. So you're not even. So you're not even. You don't even have the green light yet. You don't even have. You're not even out the gates, so to speak, yet. And activity is already moving. It's already moving. Right. Yeah. And yet, when someone comes to you and they say, I've got my website, I've got somebody working on scheduling up my logos. I've got a person who's, I've been such and such doing this training. I'm been working with this person. I've been trying this, and I'm just waiting to just get started. That person is having an approach unlike something, you saw something different. You didn't take that approach. What, you wasn't waiting for, you if the phone calls are coming, people are generating activity, and you said something that I don't think a lot of people might have missed. You're letting money slip right through your fingers.
Right.
Right through your hands.
That's exactly right. And shout out to the brother Andre Hatchett, man. You know, that was the original OG, put me on the game. And I took his course, and I bought his course October of 2017. I actually didn't roll it out until January 2018. And immediately, you know, with the marketing stuff that I had, and I coupled it with some of the marketing stuff that he taught me, the phone immediately started ringing. I mean, like almost like within a week, the phone started ringing, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, at the time I was a resident engineer for a company, a quality assurance company they put all the radios inside of Ford vehicles, right? So, like, you know, I'm engineering and I'm doing marketing for them as well. And my phone just kept ringing, right? It's like, hey, I'm looking for a notary. Hey, I need a notary. Hey, I'm like, this is okay. There's some money here. So because I was making money, now for those that have jobs as well, this is the perfect time for you to experiment, because you really don't need the money from the notary stuff. So take those chances. So because I was getting my engineering check, I was like, yo, $100, you know what I mean? I'm throwing prices out there just to see if they would bite, right? And they were saying, okay, yeah, how soon can they come in? You know, how soon can they come out? And I'll be like, oh, let me check. Oh, sorry, the notary's not available right now. We don't have any notaries available. But I was experimenting, throwing, you know, hot air balloons just to see if people, how far I could take this with the pricing stuff. So I was playing around with the pricing, and yeah, I started in reverse. Instead of starting as a notary, then getting the agency, I started with an agency and then became a notary. So in the building, US Bank building that we were in, right next door, there was a real estate broker who was also a notary. I wind up chopping it up with her, and she gave me her price list. And that was when I was able to see like what notaries can get paid. Her price was high too. It was like $175. Just like it was up there, because she was squeezing me.
Yeah.
Because I was brokering the deals now. So now I'm like a broker.
Yeah.
I get the phone calls, I close the deals, and then I say, hey Faye, can you do this appointment? She'll be like, yeah, cool. As long as you pay my fee, I already gave you the price sheet. Right. And I was like, damn, there's not a lot of meat on the bone. So what I would have to do is I would have to charge more than what she was asking for, or I would have to negotiate the terms with her. You know what I mean? So she wasn't really budging on her price. So I had to always charge the client more just so I can make a little bit of a profit. She made lion's share though. And then 4 months later, after my commission came through, I realized that, oh shit, I have 2 streams of income. I have one from my agency, and then I have another one by me being a notary. I could run the appointments myself now. So I'm like, wow, I didn't even have to step foot outside the agency or step foot outside of the notary business to make 2 streams of income. So that was huge. That was a huge eye opener for me.
All right. So what is So you got an interesting philosophy about Jim Jones.
Yeah, the Jim Jones Kool-Aid.
All right, so I want you guys to listen up. What's key for the family who is in the audience right now who may be listening to this? Some people may have heard of Jim Jones and they think of bowling. We fly high sky, right? But that's not who you're talking about, is it? Who are you talking
about? Jim Jones, that the guy that went out to African country and he gave everybody that cyanide ass Kool-Aid, and that's the biggest mass murder in the world because everybody believed him and they were all following this guy, and he was like, yo, they're coming to get us. Hey, everybody, we need you to drink this Kool-Aid. And people gave it to their child. They gave it to their husband. They gave it to their spouse. They gave it to their grandmother. Because they believed in this guy so much. And I call, there are gurus out here that I call them Jim Jones. And they're giving people this Jim Jones Kool-Aid, telling them these lies and leading people to death. Wow. They're leading them to death. So I call them out without calling them out. And, you know, I let the people discover who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I don't need to say any names. These people, you'll eventually get to see who Jim Jones really is. And Jim Jones ain't just a man. There's women Jim Jones out here too. You know what I mean? Jane Jones. Jim and Jane Jones, right? And yeah. Here's the most hurtful thing. Because it like sometimes I just want to smack the shit out of them if I ever see them. It pisses me off because I know the tactics that they're using because I have a sales and marketing background. So I understand the tactics that they're using to get people to purchase their programs and stuff. And I'm like, all right, it's cool you use that, but at least teach them how you even got them to even listen to you, right? Like, for instance, sales copy. Teach them sales copy. That shit helps them in their notary business.
Nobody talks about
whether they want to start coaching people or they just want more clients in the notary business. Why don't you talk about sales copy? I know you use it. I know you use it. I see it in your emails. I see it on your landing pages. Why don't you? Okay. Even before you get to sales copy, why won't you teach them how to create a landing page? Why don't you teach them about email marketing? Because that is going to make them hella money for the longest. That is longevity. Not having to kiss somebody's ass and say, hey, John, do you have any assignments for me today? Like that's me asking somebody to feed me. You teaching them to be employees or are you teaching them to be entrepreneurs? So
yeah, that's a powerful statement. There's a comment that says that teach you that you can Google and charge $1,000 is financial rape. Basically saying that it's just copy paste regurgitated information that you could find elsewhere. Now you talk of, there's nobody talking about sales copy. Matter of fact, I don't think I've definitely never heard it expressed in the way that you talk about it. And you talk about it heavy. Yes. And it's not even like something that's hidden. It's, you are very open about it. One of the original things that I came across you when you first popped up on my radar was something called the $250,000 call script. It was something that I had never seen before, quite put it in that way. And me having a, kind of being familiar with, medical background and having examining patients and knowing that I have to interview people, it was a concept that I quickly caught on to. And, but that to me, and for a lot of people, and for people who may not even know about this, for people who may have been walking blind for the last 2, 3, 4 years, this is something that was very instrumental. Can you talk a little bit about why the $250,000 red carpet top shelf call script? Why is that? Why start there? Why is that something that you push so hard?
Which I'm actually selling for $10 right now. $10. $10 you can get the call script. I created a course because I know it's needed. I'm like, I'm gonna erase every fucking excuse that a person could say, like, oh, I can't afford that. This shit is $10, my nigga. Literally. Like, there's no excuse. You could find that's a movie ticket. Because I understand how important that is. I'll give you an example. When I first got introduced to call script, I used to work at Bally Total Fitness, a health club, right? And they would have this thing called the TI log. It was for telephone inquiries, right? And when a person would come into the health club, we had to, we had a list of questions we had to ask them.
Speaking of call scripts,
close the deal. In order to close the deal, right? And you can't expect to ask for a high price if there's no structure to what you're asking them. People will call you and they'll try to take over your conversation. They'll be like, hey, I'm a notary. And Tekk, I've heard some of you on your calls and my calls as well. They'll be like, how much is it? Hold on, you're calling my business. I run this show. What type of documents do you need? Where are you located? Does everybody have a valid form of ID? You know what I'm saying? Like this is, I'm the professional here. I'm the authority here, not you. I don't care how aggressive your personality is. If you're the CEO of your company, when you call this business, I run this shit, right? So taking control of the conversation early on is very important because they begin to respect you for that. They're like, oh, okay, all right, let me get this right. All right, guys, it's your show. And they respect that.
You can literally hear people's tones change. You can literally hear,
oh, absolutely,
very amped up and they're all about this and they're very urgent and I need to get this right now and and then you could slow them down. The call script to me was everything. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. People would ask me, like, Tekk, man, what are you doing? Like, what is it that you're doing? I say, right there. Tekk Toledo call script. You have it?
You think about it, like when a person calls about a health club, right? They probably saw a commercial or something and they was like, They already put it off for years why they couldn't even go into the health club, but now they're going to call you. So your job on that phone is to get them to get off their ass, get in the car, get on a bus, get on a train, whatever, come down to the health club so you could give them a tour, show them why they need to work out, and then close them on a deal.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we're going to do that with the notary business. We're going to have these people, we're going to create an environment for them to call us, show them that we are the experts at what we do, why they need us, and why they don't need to call nobody else. This is like, you don't need to call nobody else. We are it. We're available to help them, and then we close the deal. When they call us, see, the call script is designed, like, if you look at the call script, is designed to pull out invisible profits. So most notaries that will pick up a phone call, unless they have a sales or marketing background, they will leave a lot of money on the table.
This is, sorry, I'm not.
No, keep going.
This is what I'm saying right here, because I'll tell people, listen, you got a call script? They're like, no, get one. Then they'll say, come up with 100 different reasons why. I know how to answer the phone. Okay, great. Oh, I know how to interact with customers. Okay, great. I know how to engage with clients. Okay, great. I know how to talk to lawyers and great. Okay, great. I know how to talk to nursing homes. I know how to talk to tow facilities. I know how to talk to women's shelters. I know how to talk to my auntie. I know how to talk to the church people. They come up with all this stuff. But what you just said right there is designed to pull out profits for you. So can you please explain to why what that concept is, it's designed to pull out profits. What, man?
It's invisible profits, right? So the invisible profits would be a person saying that, okay, they're getting a power of attorney, and then you'd be like, well, in the state of Illinois, it's required that you get a third-party witness that is non-related, not married into the family. Can you provide one, or do you need us to provide one for you? See, by me suggesting, do you need us to provide one for you, I just put my company in a position to increase the profits without having to increase the profits, without saying, hey, we're going to charge you more money for this, right? Power of attorney documents. Do you already have the documents, or do you need us to create one for you? I just positioned it again for us to upsell, and we're actually providing a solution to their problem. Oh, I'm glad you said that, because I don't know where to get one. Right? So these are these invisible profits. It's the same damn phone call. It's the same phone call. You're not spending more extra time with them. You're not doing anything extra. It's the same phone call. You're just optimizing the call to its highest potential to give them everything that they want. So by the time you're done with that phone call, they're referring you to everyone, because it's like, oh no, these people were thorough. They knew exactly, they executed, they were on time. Everything went smooth and seamless. It's all about creating a very, very lean company. You don't want it to be heavy.
The first encounter to the time that you are tracking information to the time you hang up with the person. So somebody who says, oh, I don't, you know what, I can answer the phone. I've worked in customer service. I've been an administrative assistant. I've worked at, Starbucks, and I've been a receptionist before. I can do that. What you're telling them is that, okay, you can do that, but let me give it to you just like this. Give it to you just a little bit different. And then this is what I can do to double up. And then you talk about, you heard you talk about this once before, and I wanted to ask you about playing fair. Was playing by the rules, or playing fair, or being almost kind of like the name of the show, which is the War Room.
I don't play fair.
Yeah, speak on that. What's that mean? And in the context of business, and the context of what is that? What you got? Oh, is that Mamba?
Yeah. Kobe.
Man, that's a big
Mamba mentality. Yeah. No, I don't play fair. I don't play fair in this country. The country that you know what I mean? Like they followed the Bible, but yet they did steal, they did kill, they did, enslave, and they want me to play fair with? No, it's not happening. It's not on any level. They don't play fair when they're giving you these crazy interest rates on your mortgage, on your credit card, just because, my credit card statement is, my credit score is a little bit weird and shit, but you want to charge me 30% on. No, we do not live in a fair world. It's not. So me playing fair with these guys, look, I got blackballed on Google for doing the very shit that Google does. You know what I mean? Like, I literally did what Google does, which is dominate my space, and they didn't like it. But I was like, you dominated. How else would you be the #1 search engine? Oh, like, because you played fair? Yeah, right. Nah, so I'm gonna take your business model and I'm gonna flip it into and work it to my advantage, and I'm gonna share it with the people that rock with me, and we all gotta dominate. So when you're searching for a notary, I'm number 1, 2, 3, 7. You know what I mean? I'm straight. You got to call me like 3-4 times.
Yo,
and I'm going to switch my voice up too.
Can you please explain to people what you did with Google? Because that shit was genius. It was literally the most when. All right, so if you don't have the Rise of Smart Notary book, and you're slipping right now, you probably a hater, to be honest. If you don't have the Rise of Smart Notary, probably a real hater. But I would go and get that. But when I was reading this book, I came across this explanation, this description of what it is that you were doing. Can you please explain to like what it is that you were doing? Because when I saw this, I remember this. I was in my backyard. I'm looking at this, and then I immediately closed the book, and I said, "This is genius."
Yeah, and I remember there was a lady that wanted me to teach her how do I get so much business, and then when I told her exactly what I did, she was like, "Oh, that's unethical. That's not fair." I was like, "Lady, I'm not here to be fair. I'm here to make money. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm here to cake it up." Yeah. So, what I did was, like again, I approached it on. I was the Black Sosa, you know what I mean? I wasn't Scarface, I was Sosa. And I created, in my backyard first. I wanted to see, always start in your backyard first before you take your show on the road.
Yeah.
So me being here in Illinois, man, I called cousins, I called best friends, cool friends, a couple of enemies and shit. I'm like, yo, look, man, I need to use your address so I can show people that I'm actually working, my business is set up to service them in your neighborhood. Is it cool that I send a Google postcard to your house? You're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I was like, all right, cool. The ones that were a little bit hesitant, I offered to pay them. I say, yo, I'll give you $20. Let me send a fucking Google postcard to your house. What do I give a shit? I'm about to make fucking $2,000 a month off of that one postcard. Here, take the $20. That's cheap. That's cheap advertising for me. So I got like maybe like 17 people in my backyard, right? And at the time, they would let me send 2 postcards to every house.
Yeah.
So that's 34 right there, right? So now whenever a person would go and say, and keep this in mind, you guys, and this goes for any business, by the way. When people are searching for something, there is a very, very significant phrase that people use when they're doing a search. It's called near me. That's it. Near me. Pizzeria near me. Italian food near me. Notary near me.
Yeah.
That's how people search. That is how they search. So I had all of these, I had 34 of these listings going on. And what I started to notice was when I would say notary near me, I would see my number pop up like damn, I would dominate the whole goddamn list. I'm gonna just say it like that. A couple of notaries were able to squeeze in. Now I knew that the further I can push, and I wasn't looking at it as competition. I was just looking at it like Tanisha said, I just wanted to dominate, right? I looked at it as the more I can get on the first page, the more I push everybody else to the second page. And how many people really go to the second page or the third page? Nobody.
Not many.
Nobody. So I completely took over the first page, right? And I was like, all right, I'm killing it in Illinois. Well, shit, I'm from New York. I know all my people in New York. I call all my homies out in New York and I was like, yo, this is what's going on. I need your address. And then as I was dispatching notaries in different areas, well, one thing I noticed was that notaries didn't know how to market themselves. So I said, hey, look, if you want to get down with the team, we're going to send you a postcard to your house and I need you to send me the 5-digit code. They're like, oh yeah, shit, you pay the same day? Why not? They're like, go ahead. And then I started using their address. And I just, bro, and I had it popping like coke crack, man. Like there was niggas on every corner.
I'll swear, man, when I read that and I did it, and first of all, it makes perfect sense, number one. And secondly, for something like you said, something as simple as notary near me, the expression of notary. All right, so how's the person who's looking for you is trying? What are they doing? What are they doing? They're probably going to Google, right?
Yeah,
probably going to search for you. And then when something pops up, they'll go to UPS store, right? No, what they're probably going to do is probably kind of bounce around. And then that kind of ties into why the call script is so important. That ties into why now this person who's appears to be looking for something, now you can then give them that bridge. You can now help them. Listen, if there's a way, do people still want to be notaries today? Or are people trying to
I don't see why you wouldn't want to be a notary. Like that shit is easy money, man. Easy money. I mean, like dude, I got lawyers that are pissed at me and like, how you make more money than me? Like, it's like, don't hate the player, hate the game, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate. Hey, he's like, I'm making like $100 and $200 an hour and shit. Not even an hour, because we ain't there that long. We did like 15, 20 minutes and we breeze. Yeah, bro, I got lawyers. I have lawyers in my database right now that want to be a part of my agency, like literally. Like, hey man, between litigation, I guess I could do some of this notary stuff too. I was like, come on, go sign up to my shit. And by the way, can I use your address, nigga?
Yeah. I once had a lawyer say to me, man, I don't want to pay you have to come back again. Man, I'm just happy I can save a couple of dollars to not have you come out again.
Yeah, 3. I have 3 lawyers in my database right now. I don't give them shit.
Yeah, it's the person who introduced you to the business. Who was that?
Andre Hatchett.
Who is Andre Hatchett for some people who don't know? And what does he mean?
Man, he you know what? I knew Andre Hatchett back in when he was doing Buy Black NYC, way before he was doing the notary stuff. So he was in the streets making noise back in New York. I was living in Chicago at the time, and one of my homies from Brooklyn was like, yo, man, these guys Buy Black NYC, man, they in these streets, man, they really bringing awareness. They got like a little directory for you to patronize Black businesses and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. And Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins, he always want to bring you into other people. He always introduced you to new people that have things going on. So one of these days he introduced Andre Hatchett, and I was like, all right. And at the time, Andre Hatchett was only selling his course for like $100, and I was like, well, it's only $100. I'm not gonna bark if it doesn't work out. And I tried it, and then come to find out, like months later, I find out he was the Buy Black NYC guy, and I was like, oh shit, like I was rocking with you back then. So it was perfect.
Wow.
Awesome dude.
Okay. And then you sprung off and you quickly noticed that you have a skill in this area. And it's unlike a lot of well, it may not be like that in Chicago, but it definitely is like that here in California, where when people bump into you and they find out you're a notary, they look at you and say, oh, you're a notary. There's no money in that, or it can't be.
Shit, that was my wife.
They say, oh, really? Yeah, it was your wife.
My wife, dude.
Sometimes I'll get this. They'll say, oh, yeah, I tried that a couple of years ago. No money in that. Oh, I tried to do it. Oh, you're a notary? Oh, I tried doing that. And I was working, I was working at the hospital. I tried doing that. Or I used to be a notary when I used to, work at the bank.
Yeah, a person's experience in a field doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be your experience in that field. You know what I mean? Like my girl Tahisha, she approached the logistics stuff now, man, and like her experience is far better than my experience when I was a truck driver. You know what I mean? Because she has her own authority. She accomplished what I was trying to accomplish in the trucking logistic game. So her experience is far better than mine. So like other people that were notaries, yeah, they probably work for companies or universities where they didn't make jack squat. They probably worked for a bank and they never made no money and didn't even realize that they can leverage that stamp. And then a guy like me will come through, or like you, or any of these squad members that's on here and kill the game and be like, how the fuck are you making all of this money? Like, it is what it is. I approached it different. I approached it different.
What does skin in the game mean?
The who?
Skin in the game.
Skin in the game means you actually have battle scars, right? Like you're not a theorist. You're not just talking about, that's like me. A theorist would be, I watch Tekk. I watched all his videos. I've taken his course. I've watched, listened to his podcast, all of this stuff. And now I can actually theorize, well, this is what Tekk does. And this is why he's successful. You'll find that a lot on financial channels. None of these people actually ran a Fortune 500 company, but they're talking about Fortune 500 companies like they ran the shit. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Jessica. They have no wounds at all. Like they've never struggled. They just theorize shit. Now, the people that have skin in the game, they went to war, right? They had great months. They had terrible months. They had customers that tried to run off with the money that didn't pay them. Credit cards got declined. Like they had experiences that is far more valuable than a person just thinking, if I were to think about how Tekk would have reacted to the situation, it would be like this. No, you don't know. You're just talking about it. Why don't you just ask Tekk? You know what I mean? So skin in the game is huge because you get real life experience and you don't have to make those same mistakes from a person that actually did it. I'd rather learn from a person that built a Fortune 500 company than a person that just teaches about people that they read about that built a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, can you think that? And people, when you hear, I remember listening to someone talk about, they were just talking about what to do on the weekends. What should you do? Because I work full time, I come home, I have family, evenings, slow, but I'm free on the weekends. So what should I do on the weekends? And I just, somebody would just throw out these suggestions about, well, you should go out and do this. You should go out and try this. You should go out and do this. And you should, if you haven't tried this, you should do this. And you should sign up for this. And then you should also try to sign up for this. And then it was just basically just, and I realized that at the end of the time, the person, I don't think the question was ever answered. Because the person is just, versus something that's saying, listen, I'm trying to start an agency. What should I do? Right? Give them one step. Can you answer the phone? Or do you know another person who's a notary? Right? Somebody who's saying, listen, I really want this to work. And I understand that what I'm doing right now hasn't worked. And in fact, it's getting worse. But I see that I know it's possible. I know I can feel it and I know that I'm close, but what I'm doing, what I haven't, and I've tried this, I've tried that, and I've listened to this, and I've listened to that. And I don't know. I just think my price is just too high. I just think that I know my worth. Like, what do you say to somebody like that when they approach it as if I've tried everything?
For one, that's impossible. What the fuck does everything look like? You know what I mean? Like, what's everything? How could you even say that? First of all, my position in this is I help winners win more. I'm not in the business to convince people that already convinced themselves, is this right for me? Can I win? I deal with people that are already winning in some form of life, any part of life, and they understand what it feels like to win. And they say, you know what? This notary business, I don't know shit about it, but I know if I got the right person to teach me this shit, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna kill it, period. Now, the person that says, well, I live in an attorney state, and in an attorney state, it said that I can't do this and I can't do that. And this says I can only do this, and I'm going to go to jail if I charge more than this. I was like, I'm not for you. You're going to have to move around. I can't help you because you're already coming to me with a defeatist attitude. You're already defeated yourself before you even stepped up in the game. I'm not Les Brown. I'm not Eric Thomas. I'm not going to try to convince you and be like, yeah, you know, thank God it's Monday. No, I'm not that dude. Like, fuck off. Like, figure that shit out on your own. I ain't got time for that shit. You have to want to win. You're like, yo, I'm ready to win. Fuck this. Now, one thing I can say is that everybody enters this industry at different levels. You have beginners, you have intermediate, and then you have advanced people. The beginners, I'm gonna meet you at your level, and then you're like, yo, look, I just want to get my phone to start ringing. All right, look, this is what we do. Boom, bam, 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 bam. I ain't gonna give you 20 things to do. Do these first 3, and then we'll talk again. If you're coming in the intermediate, yeah, I'm getting some assignments already, but I'm hitting this roadblock. How do I scale my business? Okay, bam, 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 bam. Now let's take it to that next level. Then you have the advanced people be like, yo, I'm making good money with this business. Shit, I might even be considering franchising or selling the business itself. Okay, you have, you know what I mean? Very different from the person that's a beginner. So I can't treat you the same way. I can't give you the same type of information because you're beyond that. So this is what we do on the advanced level. Bam, bam, bam. Get some, get your SOPs ready. Get a broker. Here's where you can get some brokers to actually put your business on the market so you can actually sell it. You know what I mean? So it's different levels to this shit, man.
Absolutely. I 100% agree, man. Jamari goes, this is the easy money I made in my life. Jessica says, Tiger ain't coming to hold hands. You got to be resourceful. Listen, let's talk some numbers here. All right. What should a notary reasonably be making? I'm not talking about you, super notary, super loan signing agent, bouncing here and here all around the town, or I'm not talking about you fresh out of the notary class and you just got your stamp and you just got your journal. I'm talking about you've been doing this, like you said, kind of beginner, kind of intermediate, maybe even advanced. But what in your opinion, what is a reasonable amount of bread that a notary should be making in?
Well, the way I teach, you will never really do this business on a full-time basis, because we got robots that do all the hard work for us. You know what I'm saying? If you were just a lazy motherfucker, like just really, really lazy and shit, be like, 27,000 a year. Lazy, I mean just lazy, like
bare minimum,
27 racks, right, a year. And again, everything is part-time because I really never done this business full-time. Never done this business full-time. I'll say between 27 and 50 is a really, really good number. It's safe. It's a good safe number. Now, if you just a badass and shit, I mean, the sky's the limit. There's no there is no restrict. Nobody's putting a ceiling on you. Nobody's putting no cap at all, because you guys see what I did with Google My Business, and I'm gonna be back at their ass again.
Yeah,
because I figured out how to how to navigate around that. But there's no limit, because here's the thing. The bread that you generate will open up more money for you other places, right? So I'm talking about, all right, now all right, Tekk, let's use this. The money that you're bringing in, let's just say PayPal is processing all of your transactions. Well, PayPal is gonna say, "Damn, Tekk, you bringing in some bread every month, man. Would you like some working capital? Like, can we throw some money at you, help you with your marketing?" And you're like, yeah. What are you talking? You want like 5 racks? Like, is that okay? Can we give you $5,000? So now the shit that you're not doing anything different. You're still running the same amount of appointments. Now you have this institution that wants to throw $5,000 at you. Now you can tap into business funding, right? Like, okay, well, now I want some American Express cards, and they give you 25,000 over here, and then another 25,000. And he's like, oh shit, now I'm sitting on like $150,000 just sitting. Mm. Look, nobody woke up and nobody dreamed this as a little kid, say, when I grow up, I want to be a notary. I don't know anybody that ever says some shit like that. I know I have. This is just a gateway for me to get to this next level. To, you know what I mean? The tap into real estate, the tap into some, get some of these people creating software and apps and shit and all, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is lightweight shit. This is just, you know what I mean? This is lightweight shit. Let's just have fun with it. Some of y'all taking it way too serious. Let's have fun. Somebody says no, you'd be like, fuck it. All right, there's another bus coming through.
You'll call back.
Yeah, or they'll call back. Use my strategy. They'll call you like 2-3 times. Yeah. Just switch up your name and switch up your voice. Hi, this is Mark. How can I help you today? You know what I mean? Like, I'll switch it on their ass so goddamn quick.
You said something interesting to me once, and you was like, "Listen, man, $100, it's $100. It's $120. It's $198. It's $200. What? You're trying to get $300,000. What's the 120? What's that? When I heard you say that, it kind of hit me, kind of, because I was thinking, damn, people struggle selling a $2 bottle of water to a man that's thirsty. You can't sell a $2 stamp. You can't sell a $3 job. You can't sell a $5, especially when you can. So that approach is what is a notary? Like, if people understood what a notary really is, it's a very esteemed. You're an agent of the Secretary of the state, right?
It's a court appointed judge. Just when you think of a notary, think of a judge with the black robe and the gavel. Imagine that dude coming down and getting into his car to drive to your house to notarize one of your damn papers. You know what I mean? Like that's your position and shit.
I don't think people understand that.
Maybe they do, but court appointed judge. You look at this person and you're literally a judge. You're the person with the black gown and the gavel, and you're like, ID looks false. No, it's not going down today. Like, you're done. You're done. It's over. I'm not notarizing shit. Start from scratch again. Or this person is trying to coerce this person to do a power of attorney. Hey, you're not going to do that in front of me. Like, you call that shit. I've done that before.
Yeah, I'm not putting my name on this document.
Like, wait. No, you can't tell this person they should sign this. No, we're not going to do that. Like, you a bad motherfucker with Like that's where I leverage the commission and stamp to be just an asshole. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be an asshole. Like, hey, cut it out. What are you doing? Matter of fact, get him out of here. Get him out. I'm not notarizing one more thing if this guy's gonna be in this room. You understand that? Get him out of here. Uncle John, just go. Just go. We'll call you back. It's raining outside. Just go.
What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you in an appointment? I've had some crazy. I haven't had too many crazy things happen. Most of the time it's okay, like 99%, like a very large percent of the time. But I can definitely tell you some times where it got a little bit, little sketch, a little suspect, as you will. But what's something crazy?
For me, like, because I'm a cash flow guy, anything that has to do with my money is crazy. Like, don't fuck with my money. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you giving power of attorney to your heroin ass grandson? I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you say Lil Timmy's a good boy, you know, I fed him, and Lil Timmy got track marks down his fucking arms, and he's a heroin addict. Look, that's none of my fucking business. So I don't really be concerned with that, and it's not my place to say anyway. Be like, hey, grandma. I mean, I saw that nigga on the south side of Chicago. That nigga was buying that your grandson's a spoon warmer. I'm just saying.
You all recognize him.
That nigga warms up spoons, my dude. You know what I mean? Yo. But there's been situations like that. But it's only when they mess with the bread. It's like this chick, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like accepting cash, right? I always want them to pay up front. So she thought I notarized her document, and she took the document, folded up, and she was like, "Thanks, nigga." You know what I mean? And and she started walking away, and I was like, "Yo, where the paper at?" You said, "Nah, I ain't like how you notarized the document. I'm not gonna pay you." I was like, "For real?" I was like, wait, before you go, take a look at that document again. I didn't notarize shit." She looked at it, she was like, "Oh."
The walk is shame.
So how much is it again for me to run the fucking money? Give me the money now, run it now. You know what I mean? So that was like some bullshit. I was like, yeah, that or a lady that I'd done a notarization for her before, and then I went to her house for the second time to do notarize a different document, and then she like 4 credit cards got declined and shit.
Oh wow.
Well, thank God I didn't notarize the document. That's why I always say, get the money first. Don't touch nothing. Get the money first, and then you put the stamp on there. Because if you stamp it, you're pretty much subject to them at that point. They're like, I don't feel like paying you, or they'll give you some bogus ass credit card that they know has been declined since 2006. Expiration date is just rubbed off, all kind of stuff, and they'll give it to you and be like, "Oh, I don't know, like I thought I transferred the money. It's not going through." Yeah, buyers are liars, y'all. Buyers are liars.
So as we start to kind of wrap up the interview and wrap down this edition of the Notary War Room, first of all, I want to appreciate everybody, give a shout out to everybody who's still on the call.
Shout out to everybody.
My cat trying to break out the room. He's like, "Man, enough of this. I'm trying to get out of here." But hey, we'll definitely kind of close it off on a more deeper level. Let me ask you this. Damn, catch on a jailbreak.
Bring him in the street. Bring him in on the screen.
Yeah, this big old this is like my little guard cat. Hang on, get over here, man. Yeah, this dude. Yeah. This you might want to come mess with me.
Not the guard cat. I'm gonna need you to stop it.
This is my little cat homie right here, man. Hey, say what up, man. Say what up.
What up, Whiskers?
Yeah, that dude.
There's rumors about men with cats, man.
He's a homie. On a business level, give us 2 business books that you would recommend a notary read, or any type of business person. What kind of 2 books you would recommend?
80/20 Sales and Marketing by Perry Marshall. That's one of my favorite books. And Rich Dad Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrant one, not the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, but the cash flow quadrant. To me, that was the best one that he rolled out in that series. So those 2.
What did you take away from those?
Well, the cash flow quadrant was definitely a mindset thing, right? Knowing that, solopreneur, entrepreneur, business owner, investor. So I was able to put things in perspective on that, understanding the assets versus liabilities, a lot better at income, how you get your debt to pay certain things. So that was very intriguing to me. The 80/20 rule, I like that because it shows how 20% of the things that you do in your business accounts for 80% of the revenue that you make. So a lot of stuff you can actually get rid of. You could be like Elon Musk right now and like trim the fat and lay off half of your staff because they're really not doing shit. So it helps you analyze what is income producing task that I'm doing and what is just bullshit. It's just taking up time, and it helps you free up a lot of time schedule. So you could do
good recommendations. And matter of fact, doing those monthly audits and getting lean, and especially for something that's a single person business like a notary business, to me, I think it's very important. Let me ask you this: what are you afraid of? Give us something that you're scared of.
I used to be afraid of credit for some reason, man. And it was because of lack of understanding. I put the link also for those that want to get the $10 course. You guys could do that. Oh, my bad. I ain't even sent it to everybody. Hold on. Yeah, and I'm tackling it now though. I'm tackling the whole credit, the whole business, because I had all of that set up, but I don't. You got to watch out the people you hang around. You really do, man, because they will put their insecurities and their fears inside of you, and because they don't understand credit or they don't understand business funding, or they'd be like, oh, you better watch out with credit. You can get into a lot of trouble. The same way they do with the notary business, they instill their fears and their lack of inside of you, and it seeps in, and it makes you approach things way too cautiously when you're supposed to be just steamrolling through it. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm treating the whole credit situation as if the credit was bullying me, and it was like, oh no, I'm not going to let you bully me anymore. I'm going to approach it. So now I'm watching a lot of videos, and thank you for sending me that thing on velocity banking with CJ. I've been watching that. I've been getting my knowledge up so I can actually approach that more aggressively, because I realize that I can't escape it. I can't escape it. I could pay somebody to do it, but if I pay them to do it, I'll always be dependent on them if my credit ever takes a hit again. So I'm learning it myself, and then as I'm learning it, I'm going to teach it to my kids, and I want my kids to teach it to their kids, because this is something that's going to happen, for generations. They can't avoid it.
What do you do that no one else can do?
I close deals on a regular basis. I'm just a master at that shit. You put me in any situation, I'll close a deal.
Yeah.
No matter what product. I don't care if you're selling rocks, a bag of shit. It don't matter. Like I'll say, it's not a bag of shit. It's fertilizer. It's fertilizer. It works for your plants. You know what I mean? Look at your house looking right. It's not a pen. It's a deal closer. When you pull out this pen, they'll be like, "Ooh, this is worth some money." Yeah, because you can only sign big deals with this pen. That's why.
It's heavy. Hey, I can attest to that too. And I don't want to take up too much time, but I can remember on two specific occasions, on two very distinct occasions. One time I was both on the phone, by the way. One time I was in the car, and the other time I was in my getting dressed, like in getting prepared on my way to an appointment. And both times you closed deals. Both times, right there on the spot, got the money, got the card transaction, entered the 16-digit card number, or got the person to commit. Both times. So I can definitely attest to that. Absolutely.
Yeah, don't be afraid of the money. Get the money, Chico. You know what I mean? Like when they if your Calendly is down, something ain't going through, get a simple pen and paper and write their credit card down. That takes balls to do, but it's really not that hard. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people have this notion in their mind, oh, nobody's gonna want to give me their credit card number over the phone. That's the story you tell yourself. That's the bullshit you tell yourself. It's a lie. It's a big fat lie. Just because you wouldn't want to give somebody your credit card over the phone, don't mean they're not comfortable with giving people their credit card over the phone. Just because you won't buy a Louis Vuitton purse, don't mean they don't have 12 of them motherfuckers sitting in their closet. So do not force and push your buying habits on to your customers. They you know, you're not selling to yourself. You're selling to other people.
Okay, what can you do that nobody else can do?
Like a superpower?
Yeah.
No
one's touching Tiger in this. No one. Can't be touched. Can't be clinched. They can come close.
Oh yeah, no, I was giving it too much thought. Shit, be me. Nobody could be me. Nobody could deliver a message like I can, because you would have to come from where I come from, right? So it's all authentic. It's 100% real. I'm okay if you disagree with me, and you like, you know what I mean? Like I'm good with that. I'm in a good space with that. So I give you the raw, uncut, and it's up to you to you know, see if you want to use that information or not. But I'm gonna give it to you raw and uncut, and you like, hey, all right, nah, that seems a little bit too much for me at this time. Or like, dang, thanks for sharing it with me. I'm not prepared for it to do it right now, but I'm gonna do it in the future. So, you know, the people in the Ghost Squad, they know I give them everything. I pour everything out to them.
That's what I would have said. That's what I was gonna say. That like, if I would answer that question, I would say that's it. That's it right there. Something that no one, only you can do that. I've never seen anything, and I've been around a lot of people, man. A lot of high level people, and it's something that you do this like no other. I've never seen anybody quite do it like this, and it's very fascinating, very intriguing to watch you work. And,
yeah, I don't. You know, the only thing I don't smoke or drink no more, man. But like, if I did, I'd be on the fucking camera doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like the more authentic I can be, the more comfortable I get. Like some people may look at it as vulnerability or whatever, but I look at it as I'm purging. I'm getting that weak shit out of me, right? Like when I really get my smart notary studios up and running, dude, if I feel like doing push-ups on camera, I'm gonna do push-ups right there on the camera and shit. I'm like, oh, that's not professional. You're fired. Beat it. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna tell me what I can't do on my own studio? So So having control, having ownership is very important to me. I'm not a big fan of, like, I'm a good soldier. Like, I could be a really good soldier if Tahisha or Tanisha or Corinne had, valuable information. I am going to be the best student in that class. I am going to study, and I'm going to be a hell of a soldier, because I understand before I can be a general, I have to be a great soldier. I have to be able to take good instructions and execute at a very high level, and then I get promoted. So, yeah, I'm just being
absolutely.
really authentic, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bringing that out too, and making other people leaders, and showing them that power, man. That's something that, people can claim that they do that, but I've seen it in action, and it's very and it's powerful. And why is, because when we look around, there's a lot of us in this business. There's a lot of us, and you've kind of approached it like a protector, in the sense that, because you recognize that a lot of people have issues that they want to have solved, and this might be their first business, might be their first time at a shot at entrepreneurship, and they're just dipping their toes in that pool, man, just checking the waters out. And then you allowing them to kind of be themselves, and showing them that that the notary industry is $1 billion business.
You can't fool our people, dude. I'm just saying, man. You can't fool Black people, man. You can't. They could see right through bullshit, dude. It is probably one of the hardest markets to break through. Once you have that stamp of approval from your people, I told you my nightmare before, but I'll share this with the audience. One of my nightmares, this reoccurring nightmare that I have, is I'm super successful, right? And I'm at this nightclub, and nightclub is popping. I mean, like, KRS-One is performing. It's just lit, right? And I have a VIP booth. We got bottles coming to the damn, booth and all that. But I'm surrounded by every other race but my own. And then a guy that looks just like me comes through with a bunch of Black people swagged out jewelry, you know what I mean? Like, they lit, they looking super dope. And they walk through, and they got bread too. They got a booth too. They popping bottles over there too. The only difference is that guy is with my peoples. I'm not with my peoples. And that guy looks at me dead in the eye, and he just does this. And I felt that shit to my core. And it's a nightmare for me. It's a nightmare, because I was like, I don't want to be successful and not be around my peoples. I don't. That's not success for me. That's not success for me. I want to be around my people, because I already know that, for one, we make everything fucking cool. Hands down. We are the most imitated, copied people on the planet. We take the lamest shit and make it cool. So it's very important for me to get that stamp of approval. I'll take that to the day I die, right? To get that stamp of approval from my people and be like, nah, he good. He's good. We rocking with him. We don't know about the other dude, but him, let him through. That's a different VIP rope right there, baby. That's a different rope, man. That's a different room over there.
So when you stroll through the tunnel, go to the nightclub, and you see notaries that they say they tried everything, man. I tried everything, but I want to stand on the couches with you in the VIP, man. I want to stand jumping up and down.
Let's go.
Pouring champagne out. How do they find you, man?
TigerToledo.com, or you could just Google me, man. I'm everywhere. Just Google the kid. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting in work in these streets. I'm still trying to dominate the damn search engines. So, hey Tekk, because I know you got to go, but I wanted to take some questions from the audience too, bro.
Yeah, we got questions. We got time for questions. Yeah. Who wants to stand on the couch and pop a bottle of champagne? Who? Raise your hand. You want to stand on a? You want to stand in the VIP lounge?
Come through, Tanisha.
You want to knock over barricades?
For real.
That's how
First off, me and my higher self, we want our own VIP. Okay, I don't want to be with nobody. I want my own. Me and my own spirit guides coming in that. You hear me? First off, I'm from Chicago.
Hey.
Harvey kid. Okay, don't give a fuck. Who give a fuck? Military ex-wife. So I got a lot of background. I got a CDL. I got my life insurance license. I do a lot of learning.
Yes.
But it's like when you do a lot of learning and then you don't get the gratification that you're looking for, it's real discouraging, right? So then I look for other stuff. It's like I feel like I'm a forever student, but I want to get out of that mindset and want to be a forever teacher, because that's where I feel I can do the most work, is teaching. So this was actually better than the last live I was on, than the last Zoom I was on. I'm going to be honest, like, right? Because Tekk, you wasn't on the last one. It was Tiger and the young lady, right? We didn't talk about no notary, no nothing, but it was cool, you know? So my thing is, because again, I had explained that I wanted to get in government contracting and that I do have a freight brokerage business as well. And I'm just looking for different services to sell to the government, right? Now, my niche in government contracting is going to be supply. You know, if that motherfucker wants some damn baby oil, what you want, okay? You want applesauce? What do you want? Okay? That's going to be me. You want toilet paper? That's going to be me. You want rat traps? You want boots for the DOD? What's up? That's me, right? So my thing is that, because I was saying earlier that there's a lot of men are definitely afraid to help me out, you know? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get your book when I get off this bad boy, right? That's for one.
Thank you.
Then, gratitude to you. I don't say thank you because it's a form of enslavement, right? So I don't use a lot. It is gratitude. Blakanda. Actually, if you want to do this, that's the X-Men, right? Because we all have spiritual gifts. We all are talented, and you're using your spiritual gifts to open us up as to what we may want, what we didn't know that we wanted, and what we could have. Like earlier, I was saying, I'm manifesting billions of dollars, right? That's my goal. So obviously my manifestation is going to take a little bit longer, but I'm looking at billions. I want gobs of it. And I just need that lane. I just need a motherfucker to be like, you know what, bitch, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you and I want to see you through. And I have no problem with, going forward. It's just that people are so intimidated by that shit. And I just don't understand. I currently stay in South Carolina in Myrtle Beach. Okay. So if anybody don't know about South Carolina, it's that. It's definitely the Bible Belt. They don't want whatever. So I guess my question is, yeah. So I'm sorry. So my question is it's like, where do you start? Now for my marketing, I'm gonna be honest. I did the old way. I printed out a welcome letter and I printed out my pricing list. I did a business card with a QR code, and I Googled all of look, I'm telling you, I did assistant livings, I did hospitals, I did mortuaries, okay? I did lawyers, right? And I snail mailed that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't necessarily do the email, but I just did it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that, you know, how do you really get out there? And I'm sure your book is going to say that, but I just want to hear it out your throat. That's all.
Sure.
Who
So
told you to do that? That's what
yeah.
my
So
question is.
for one, what you did was direct mail response, which is still really good to do, because I'm actually going to get back into direct mail response, because a lot of people are jumping online and they're leaving that pot wide open. You know what I mean? So that's good that you did do it, because you're understanding the process of that, of crafting out a really good letter, QR codes, and so on and so forth. The only thing that it sounds like that's missing is you attacking it online, right? You have a Google profile already or no?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I put it back on mute. No, I don't.
Yeah, so you need to create a Google profile, and then when you create that Google profile, right, they're going to ask you for your business name, and then instead of you putting, let's just say Tanisha's Notary Business, you're going to put, pick a county in North Carolina, right, and call it like I'm just going to give you an example. Put the city, the service that you provide, and then end it with services. So it'll be like
Okay.
North Carolina Traveling Notary Services. So, and make sure that it ends with the letter S. So services. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, because you never created one before, they may allow you to create two. So the first one you do North Carolina Traveling Notary or Mobile Notary Services, right? The second one, what I want you to do is create one that says North Carolina Notary Near Me. And that they're going to ask you, is this your name? Is this what you want to call it? And be like, yes, that's what I want to call it. And then when you're going to get to a section that's going to ask you for, okay, where are you operating the business? Instead of putting the city, I want you to put the county.
County.
Out there, right?
I just wrote that. Yeah.
You're going to put all the counties that you operate in, and then complete that. Tell them you don't have a website. You want to create a website on Google. Even if you have a website, the reason why I'm saying that is 2 websites is better than 1.
Yes.
Right? So
Easy.
Create those quick little websites that they let you do. Make sure your phone number is there, and then that'll get your phone ringing. And then study that call script, because when your phone starts to ring, you want to be able to close those deals.
I thought she was gonna ask what next. What's the next service I should add? I was like, you got a whole list, Tanisha.
Well, I did want to say that, but I'm just like, I didn't want to overload.
No more services.
Because again, my other service, I'm gonna be honest, because I want to appeal. I want to appeal to Sam. Sam, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I need to let him know that I'm here. I'm a disadvantaged, okay, Black woman. I need them certificates. Like, I need that bread, okay, because it's here for us. So my other one I was going to do, I am going to do the pilot escorting, right? So as I was talking about before, it's basically, you know, if you ever seen a wide load, the two cars in front and the back, that's me. You know what I'm saying? I can subcontract, because my freight brokerage business, I am a broker. I'm a freight broker. And that's what I want to do. So I want to subcontract all my work out and sit back and collect what I need to do, because why not? I want to be the primary contracting.
Tanisha, yeah. Because you have a lot of projects on the table, you need to break up your day. So this thing that I do now is I break up my day in 3 parts. So from 6 in the morning to noon, I'm doing this amount of projects. That's one day, right? And then from noon to 6 p.m., that's another day, but it's within the same day.
Yeah.
But I have to because you have a lot of businesses, right? So you could say like, hey, look.
Is that bad? I'm sorry. Is that bad?
Well, think of it this way. Try cooking multiple dishes in the kitchen at the same time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I want you to cook Chinese food on 3 pots, then I want you to cook Italian food on another 3 pots, and I want you to cook Southern food on another 3 pots, and I want you to do all of them at the same time, and let's see how successful all those dishes are going to be.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So we need to now, I'm not saying get rid of any of them, but I'm saying narrow down your focus for a specific amount of time. So if I'm going to do the trucking logistics side, I'm going to etch out 6 hours just for that. That's it. Then this section of time from 12 to 6 p.m., just a notary business. That's it. List down everything that you're going to do within that time just for that business, and then the next part of the time.
What's this thing with government contracting, by the way? Am I missing something? I mean,
yeah, you are.
Am I?
You are, sweetie. Right. If you don't know about government contracting, I'm telling you, that is the quickest way to make Black millionaires. Okay. I promise you, on my ovaries. Promise you. That's the best way. See, the thing about notary is that it only has, I said this earlier, it only has one NICS code, 541199. It's only one NICS code, right? You want to have multiple NICS codes, okay? So if you're not, again, you may not understand because of the government contracting, but you wanted to have a consistent, there's contracts, but by me being in South Carolina, there's no work because it's not a big state. It's not a big, like they don't have a lot of need for they don't take too kind of people like me, okay? They call me Yankees. They call me all kind of shit. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You ain't finna call me a quitter or a loser, right? I'm 5'10", and it ain't shit you gonna knock down. So I just have to, I'm dead serious because it's a lot of racism down here that blocks your creativity. So when it comes to government contracting, people are scared of it because they don't understand it. And some people feel like, oh, well, you got to go for the big boys. You got to go for the big contracts. No, you don't. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit in the government that can build your fucking wealth.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
I mean that from the heart. So
all right, we'll do a class on government contracting. Let's get to the question then.
Anything with printing, anything of that nature, like they sell and they buy everything. So yes, we definitely do. Thank you.
From a concept
I appreciate you.
We got
gratitude, Kings. Gratitude.
All right. Let's get another question in here. Let's get another few questions. Anybody else want to throw something at Mr. Tiger Toledo while we got him here? You got him right here, guys. Right here. This is like talking to Elon Musk, talking to Steve Harvey or Steve Jobs. Right, you got him right there. The answer right here.
I didn't catch the beginning of it, but one of my questions is, how long have you been doing this? How long have you?
October 17 made 5 years.
5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And can I ask number-wise in that from the beginning till now? Am I okay to ask how much have you did in that amount of time?
In 5 years?
Yeah. And from the notary business.
Shit, I ain't pay my taxes, but you know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to incriminate this.
But yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, feds come knocking on the door, be like, yo.
All right.
You got you recorded on here, said you made this much, you heard?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right? Allegedly.
You don't have to do that.
I would have liked to make, over $250,000. You know what I mean? I would have liked to make over $250,000 within that time. If that helps out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That answer is
code. I'm talking code, baby. Blakanda code. This Blakanda code right here. I'd have liked to make a little over, $250,000.
Family Feud. Good answer.
Part-time, part-time.
I've been at it for like 10 years.
Yeah.
A little bit of a break. Because you guys are transparent. I ended up getting in trouble, legal issues, was on 5 years probation. I became be able to become a notary again. To be honest, I never thought it, but again, one of my mentors, an old white guy, he was all like, "It won't hurt to try, just try it." And it was during the pandemic, and I slid back at it. I've been back at it for like 3 years, and yes, and people be all like, "You're just a notary?" Like, yeah, that's where I've got multiple businesses. I've grew since then, but being a notary, that's my base. That's my root. That's where I began. That's where I got started. And from and to where I'm at today. But yes, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invite. And yes.
Yeah, you know what? People sleep on it. Let them sleep on the notary business. You know what I mean? Like I said, my wife slept on it. My sister-in-law, my cousin slept on it, and now they all notaries and shit. You know what I mean? Because after they saw them checks coming through, they was like, how do you become a notary again? Yeah, I bet. You see these checks coming in. You see this phone ringing. Literally get another phone, called it the money phone. Be like, the money phone. I call it. It was like a bat phone. Yeah. It was like, Batman, we need you at Gotham. You know what I mean? Like it was like that and shit. So, and here is the beautiful thing. When you narrow your focus, magic happens, right? I used to be that person that like, I pride myself of calling myself a serialpreneur. I wasn't no fucking serialpreneur. I just did a lot of things half-ass, right? But when I really, really focused on one thing, one industry, I started noticing pockets of streams. So when people are talking about streams of income, they're not talking about all these different businesses. They're talking about streams of income within the same industry.
Break that down.
Let me break this down. In this notary industry by itself, I'm gonna give you guys a few streams that I'm making income in. One is the books. That's passive income every single month. I wrote the books 2 years ago and it still pays me to this day. That's one stream of income. Having a notary agency, that's another stream of income. Being a notary public, that's a third stream of income. Having an online course where I teach other notaries, that's a fourth stream of income. Having a merchandise line where I create clothes for notaries that say notary on there, or like, keep calm, I'm a notary. That's 5 streams of income right there. I didn't step foot outside the industry. And there's a lot more. A lot more. Shit, the podcast, this podcast right here. I get emails all the time. Hey, this person wants to sponsor your podcast. This person wants to give money so they can feature their ad inside your podcast. That's another stream of income. When my YouTube reaches this threshold of getting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, that's going to be another stream of income. That's going to be 7 streams. I actually have more than that, but I'm just saying, like, just in this industry alone, you can definitely touch $1 million. You could touch $1 million in here for sure. Yeah. But you have to recognize that these things ain't automatically going to reveal itself to you. You're going to have to put some work into it, but with technology the way it is right now, you could have robots. Me and Tekk talk about it all the time. Our robots don't take no days off. They don't take no sick days. They don't take no vacation. Like, they are grinding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're like a sniper on the roof that is waiting for his target, and they never take a piss break. They're going to clap that target. That target's getting clapped. Yeah, so email automations, all of that stuff. It's you could definitely touch a few M's in this industry for sure.
Yeah, very important to know that. And the person who's giving you the information, or at least kind of feeding the information, that's got to be the message that they're conveying, because that's important. I'm so happy that I got a chance to meet you, Tiger. We got time for one more question.
Yes.
Make it a hot one. Make it fire. Come on now. This is Blakanda forever. Then we're gonna go see the movie.
So I got a question for you, Tiger.
Yes.
In reference to, so earlier in the interview, you mentioned that your wife wasn't a believer in what you were doing. Basically saying that notaries weren't making money. What is one of the ways that you were able to combat that? Outside of seeing the results and then coming around to it, because of course there had to probably have been like a lot of tug of wars and stuff like that. And the reality of what the possible pressures that the relationship may have went under because of that.
I know
doubt
where
and
you're coming
everything.
from. I know where you're coming from. This heavy. This heavy talk real quick. Don't force your spouse or partner to see your vision. Please don't put that pressure on them. We already know as entrepreneurs, there's a lot of pressure that comes with this game. They may not have that hunger. They may not have that tenacity. They may not have that desire to go out there and kill like we do. You know what I mean? And it can put a huge strain on your relationship. In the beginning stages, because like I said, I had like 7 different companies. I tried bringing my wife into all of them. And then I was that dude that'd be like, you don't want to support me. And you know, like I was putting hella pressure on her, especially when things didn't go my way. I was bringing extra energy, extra bad energy into the relationship. And I don't suggest doing that. It will tear your relationship apart, right? So you give them their space. You be like, hey, if they want to help, let them help. If not, you're cool. Don't force them into it. Because when you think about it, even when you hire employees and shit, even your employees that you literally pay, these motherfuckers ain't gonna do the job like they're supposed to. They're not gonna have the hunger that they should have, and you pay them. So your spouse, your partner, who you're not paying, right? They just rocking with you. Do not put them in a position to be like, hey, support me. You're not supportive and this and that. Don't do that. Hey, being an entrepreneur is a lonely path because they can't see the vision that we have. Oh, well, fuck it. You a lion. You don't need like a whole crew to go hunt. More food for you. You know what I mean? You can share with the pride, but a lot of times when you go hunt, you got to go kill by yourself. So I will say that, but then what turned them around is that they saw the money coming in. So it wasn't even like after a while, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be a notary. You guys want in? You're like, nah, they don't make no bread or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna go out there and do this thing over here. And as I started to see success, they pay attention. They see. You know what I mean? They may not say anything, but they see. They're like, ooh, wait. They're like, I might want some of this bread myself. And, to this day, my wife will come and she'll be a third-party witness on some of my assignments, right? And we keep the money in the family. So I hope that helped out, Jessica.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people can relate to that. A lot. Yeah, and if you're denying it, then it's a possibility that you might be neglecting something. So definitely address that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we got one more. Somebody got one burning question that they want to ask. Again, appreciate y'all for staying on for this long. And this is a special edition of the Notary War Room. This is the one and only red, black, and green carpet, the premiere night.
Yeah.
One more question. We got any more questions? Tiger Toledo is seriously an expert at hiring VA assistants, is running an agency. No one, I don't care what anybody says. I've seen the platforms that are out there. I've seen, trust me, I've seen them. I've watched them. I've monitored them because I'm a student of information as well. That's just naturally. That's just how I am. I've seen how the information is conveyed out there. I've seen it. Trust me. And no one is doing it like Tiger. No one has the experience. No one has the perspective. No one pushes the amount of information and delivers it in a way that you can consume it in a way that you damn near think you're an expert in it now. You watch it, you listen to it, and now you try to go out and teach it. And that's a testament to just how great the information is given, because it's like you remember a story, you don't remember none of the names, but you remember what happened. So now you go and tell somebody else the story. But it didn't happen to you, but it almost felt like it did, because that's how great the story was told. Like, that's how great the information, and that's where a lot of things I think are missing. That's where the disconnect is, where people get frustrated as to why come my business cards ain't working? How come my flyers ain't working? Well, it's the information. It's one thing for me to tell you to just go get a flyer, go get a business card. It's another thing for me to tell you, when you use this business card, you can give it to the person after they paid you. It's a completely different perspective, and the way that you present the information, the way that you deliver it, to me it's in a class of its own, to be perfectly honest. So I definitely want to say salute to you, and I definitely want to say give your big props. And if they ain't heard of you, man, they will. They definitely will. And the fact that you represent us and that you on our team, and I think that it's an advantage. And we got the LeBron James on our squad, and we got the Steph Curry and the Mikes and the Jordans on our squad. And really, if somebody's trying to get on the team, then they're welcome. I know that, because I know you like that. I know that you are definitely inviting like that. But at the same time, it's not poodles, man. It's pit bulls and there's poodles, and there's people who are ready to eat, and there's people who are ready to run. It's greyhounds out here, and then there's Shih Tzus, and then there's Pomeranians, and people who just want to get carried and be lap dogs. And that ain't us, and that ain't how we roll. So
no, not at all.
Absolutely. So, and no excuses around here, really. And if y'all want to be a part of the team, it's definitely an opportunity for you guys. It really is an opportunity, and just this is what you're going to get.
Matter of fact, Tekk, plug in what you got, bro.
Yeah, Notary Day, mygoldenstampnotary.com/Notary Day. I know Notary Day passed by or whatever it is, but listen, I'm giving an opportunity for people who want to learn how to operate a notary business. And I know you think you got a business. I know it. You got it. But listen to me. It's all a matter of perspective. When somebody is looking for a notary, and it could be somebody who knows what a notary is and somebody who doesn't know, somebody who's a law assistant or somebody who's an executive assistant, somebody who's a grandma or somebody who's just a brother-in-law for somebody who's blind, somebody needs a notary. This is your objective. This is your responsibility to help this person. And understanding what a notary does, to me, is really what separates you from the person who says, I need to go create another 50,000 flyers and hand them out at FedEx store so I can pray and cross my fingers that somebody calls me. That's not acceptable. So Notary Day, I'm running an opportunity, a special, if you want to learn how to be more confident, if you want to learn how to take what you have going right now and demonstrate to people why your profession, or why your business, why your business is
Start all over, brother.
It's $1 billion business. And
run that back. You know how we do, bro.
This is an easy. If you can't sell if you can't sell a $2 bottle of water, then you shouldn't be selling. I mean, you need water, same way you need notary. Two different elements, but somebody is looking for you right now. Somebody needs you right now, and there's really 2 or 3 things that you're probably using right now, and it's not communicating, it's not talking, it's not working. eliminate all that. I don't care what city you in. Oh, this one work in Virginia. This one work in Miami. This one work in Philadelphia. This one work in, forget all that. There's people right now, if you're in this industry and you are in this profession, if you want somebody who's looking for a notary to find you, and so that they can get something taken care of and you can charge what you think you're worth, what you know you're worth, then mygoldenstampnotary.com/notary day. mygoldenstampnotary.com/notary day. I'm out running opportunity for people who want to run. It's only like 17 spots for this. And it's done like that on purpose because this is an elite group of people who run like wolves, run like pit bulls. It's not like no poodles, man. If you're interested, hit that link.
You put
That's
the link
all I
in?
have to say.
Did you put the link in there?
I'll put it in the link. If you're interested, just hit that link. And you'll know. I've got 2 questions for you. You'll know.
Any last questions, you guys?
Hit that.
Any last questions? Look, man, my platform is built for us, y'all. It's all love, man. It's all love. Like anybody that you see on the Notary War Room, they know the pre-talk that we have. And I say, hey, man, you got to present something. You have to have something to offer on this platform because we're like Avatar, right? We gain strength off of each other. I might not be able to deliver the message that goes well with you. Jessica might have, that swag that resonates with you the most. It might be Gina. It might be Tekk. It might be, Tanisha. Like, it's not just me. I ain't trying to be the only dude out here. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none, you heard? like for real. Like I need the squad. Like I ain't trying to go up. You guys know who we up against. All right. I don't need to say much on that, but I mean, if time comes to it, and I will call out names, but y'all know who we up against. We have to clip up. We got to clip up. Let the week go over there with, all right, y'all do what y'all do, man. We're an elite force. SEAL team, the Notary SEAL team, Ghost Squad, like fucking lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, like don't fuck with them. Last person that fucked with us, by the last name Lawrence, we got in their ass. That's how, like, it's serious because we understand, like, you guys see what's going on with Ye. Y'all see what's going on with Kyrie Irving. Y'all see what was going on with Kaepernick. Like, this is the war we're in. That's why it's called the War Room. They ain't gonna let you talk the way you want to talk. They be like, ooh, this person's too aggressive. Tanisha's too aggressive. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. Get in their ass, Tanisha. Get in there. Serve them. Serve them. Green light their ass.
Yeah, make it easy for you guys. Make it easy for yourself.
Yeah, so with that said, man, peace, love, and happiness and cash flow to you guys. I wish you guys the very best. Enjoy your weekend. Go see Wakanda Forever. Let's blow it out in the box office.